Hello everybody and welcome to Lost in the World. Following on from my thoughts on the raid, the Argos raid, I'm just going to give some quick pointers and tips really to help people who are new to the game going in and understanding the mechanics. Now, there's a bunch of like basic attacks and things like that I'm not going to cover because that's just something you're going to pick up as you play the raid. What I am going to cover is the main reasons I think people will fail and the main reasons that will cause frustration. And I think if you know these, you can quickly explain them to people when you're in the raid, because sometimes it's really hard to learn these core mechanics when you're under pressure. So, you know, that type of raiding is not for everyone, and I've got friends who I played games with for years, they really dislike raiding because it just causes them so much stress. So hopefully if you are the guys with the information, you can share that information with them and you can make your run so much easier. And in the meantime, just do something nice. Maybe you'll introduce somebody else to raiding and they'll fall in love with it the way I did. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into my key tips for the Argos raid phase 1. Okay, so quickly on the core mechanic of the game, each party will have either the moon or sun buff, which can be seen in many ways. This will be signified by a purple or orangey yellow glow under the player. It is also shown by the icon here in the bottom right of the screen. Now, a lot of the time I found it easier to keep track of my buff through that icon in the bottom right, either due to forgetting what my buff was, because under all the explosions it can be difficult to see, or just Argos changing the buff at the last minute and then me quickly having a glance rather than see from under my feet, where sometimes it can be difficult. So have a glance down there if you are ever unsure. Also, Argos can switch that aura right before a wipe mechanic, and that is going to be the key to staying alive, so watch out for that. It feels a bit cheap at times, I can't lie, but at the end of the day, it is about attention to detail. Okay, let's talk about the stuff that got us killed then. So you each get an aura, so each team will have a purple or yellow aura, and you'll all be on the same team with the same aura. The key mechanics I like to talk about, and the ones I have my own little cute pet names for, are Safe Spot Wipe, Big Pizza Nuke, Small Pizza Dot, and No Damage Please. Let's start off with the easiest one, the Safe Spot Wipe. Safe Spot Wipe is pretty simple. After a few runs, you probably will never die to it, but initially it just needs some basic organising by somebody in your party. We simply gave a cardinal direction, which is a north, south, east, west direction based on the number in each party. So in my party, I was number 1, I was therefore north, number 2 was east, 3 was south, and 4 was west, and the same for the opposite party. There's two key reasons for this. Firstly, to avoid the confusion of multiple people going to the same safe area. There's only 2 safe areas in each spot. If 3 or more people go, someone's going to die. Secondly, so we can see where the error is and talk it through quickly, and that is a key component of raiding. If I, as one on my party, went south in the safe spot mechanic, it's clearly my error and something I need to fix for the next run. Moving on, we've got Big Pizza Nuke. Argos will create a big pizza with pizza slices everywhere with colours that match your buff. Stand in the matching colour to avoid the damage. There is a pattern displayed below, but honestly, I just focus on paying attention to the first slice and then reacting to the second. I'm terrible at remembering patterns like that, so I just went with staying close to the boss so the distance between the slices was minimal, so I can quickly move between the slices. This will kill most players if it hits you twice, so be ready for the Big Pizza Slice Nuke. And again, be wary, he might change your aura quite soon before he does this mechanic, so have a quick glance down when you see him summoning the pizza. Moving on, we've got Small Pizza Dot. Okay, so this was really the main reason for most party wipes, but funnily enough, the more you do the raid, the less this kills you and the more Big Pizza Nuke kills you. If you get this bit right, honestly, I feel like half the battle for this raid is done. Until you get this bit right though, you will have a lot of wipes and a lot of angry people in the raid. Argos will spawn a small pizza with multiple slices. There will be a pattern on the floor, ignore it. It adds a layer of complexity to this that you do not need. This is where your items that you may have ignored for a while come save you. A pizza is formed and you are immune to the dot in the slice that corresponds to your colour. The last dot, however, is the big damage dot and is the one you need to avoid more than the others. You can shield your way through the other ticks via health pots, via your support, via protection potions or via time stop potions. However, the last one will hit hard unless you stand in the immune spot, which Argos shows in the pattern earlier. Luckily for us, the final immune spot is always the same for Moon and Sun, regardless of the pattern put on the floor. So this following phrase I'm going to give you, tattoo on your hand so you never forget it. Moon safe spot, 5 o'clock bottom right, 10 o'clock top left. Sun safe spot, 7 o'clock bottom left and 2 o'clock top right. As you can tell, the safe spots for each aura are opposite one another, so really all you need to know is one of them and then you'll automatically know the next one. So the general consensus is you remember Moon safe spot as 5 o'clock bottom right, Sun safe spot as 7 o'clock bottom left. If you get caught out due to bad positioning or timing and let's say you're above Argos when he does this, just go to the opposite slice as you'll be closer to it. So I often got caught out as I was doing DPS to Argos when I was Sun and I quickly just went to the 2 o'clock spot rather than the 7 o'clock spot and I stayed alive. Just repeat it with me one more time. Moon safe spot, 5 o'clock, Sun safe spot, 7 o'clock. One more time. Moon safe spot, 5 o'clock, Sun safe spot, 7 o'clock. Okay, so the best thing to do here is as soon as the phase starts, go to your safe spot and take the small dot hits, or shield through it, pop through it, or time stop through it, and then you are safe for the last big hit. Be aware again that Argos will sometimes change your aura right before this mechanic. Yes, he's a bastard. Check your aura before you go to your slice. Thank me later. Finally, we have no damage phase. Okay, so after a certain amount of time, I don't know exactly when it is, but it's pretty clear when the phase starts because he summons a giant circle underneath him, which is ticking down with the time as the kind of phase goes away. Argos will begin to strut his stuff around the map with a circle below his feet. At this point, he is neutral. If either party damages him enough, he will switch from neutral to that party's Sun or Moon aura. If he does this when the timer depletes, he will wipe the opposite party. Now, some people call this a cheese. Actually, it's not really a cheese because it can make the fight harder later on because the fight goes on for longer because you're not doing any damage in this phase. But actually, I think the pros outweigh the cons with the neutral kind of the neutral tactic here. I feel the best thing to do is just not damage him at all, completely avoid him, just dodge his attacks and wait for the timer to tick down and then nuke him straight after. This saves a lot of communication issues, especially if you're doing the party finder and you're not on comms together. I think just playing neutral is the best way to do it. If you do want to do it via damage and maybe complete the phase quicker, have clear communication between your teams and make sure at least a couple of you are talking to another on Discord to organize the damage when it needs to stop and when it needs to begin again. And that's it really. Those are the core concepts that got us killed. I'm not going to talk on the basic concepts such as the basic attacks he does. Just avoid the damage from the basic attacks. He doesn't really have red telegraphs on a lot of his attacks. He does a lot of like blacky blue swirls that you need to watch out for, but they'll come with time, and hopefully if you've got good supports, you'll be okay. That's my quick video for the Argos raid and the core mechanics that got us wiped. I hope that helps somebody out there, and just be patient with your team, talk through it. Nobody's perfect, everybody will make mistakes in raids. Don't be one of those guys who, you know, kind of huffs and puffs and kind of brings down the atmosphere in the raid. Help people, support them, make them a better raider. Trust me, you'll feel better for it. Other than that, take care, thank you very much for watching, like, subscribe, helps me, bye!